All right, let's just get right into it. If you're running an e-commerce store, managing an agency, or honestly running any kind of online business right now, you've definitely seen the massive complaints all over the internet. Advertisers everywhere are literally screaming that their meta ads are suddenly failing, their return on ad spend is totally tanking, and that the platform is just broken. But listen, today in this explainer, we're going to walk through the definitive 2026 playbook to fix those failing campaigns. We're going to show you exactly how to actually thrive in this completely new meta ecosystem. So let's start by tackling the absolute burning question that every single media buyer, business owner, and dropshippers is stressing over right now. Why are the tactics that worked so incredibly well just a few years ago suddenly burning through your budget with literally zero conversions to show for it? Everybody is pointing fingers at the recent updates, right? Well, that brings us to a seriously powerful quote drawn straight from the sources breaking down these changes. It says, "Here's the thing about Andromeda. You're probably thinking about it all wrong." Look, it's so easy to blame your bad performance entirely on Meta's new Andromeda update, and hey, your frustrations are totally valid. But we kind of need to shift the blame away from the algorithm itself for a minute, because here's the harsh truth. The problem isn't the AI. The problem is outdated account structures and really poor creative volume. Finding success today requires a complete fundamental mindset shift in how you build your creatives and how you even think about targeting. The game hasn't ended. The rules have just changed. So, here's our game plan for today. 1. The new AI algorithm. 2. Creative is the targeting. 3. Generating high-converting ads. 4. Campaign setup and budgets. And 5. The 3-day scaling rule. Let's kick things off with part 1, the new AI algorithm. What's actually fascinating here is looking at what Andromeda really does. It's essentially just a retrieval process. Think about it like this. Every single time a user opens up Facebook or Instagram, Andromeda rapidly sifts through millions of ads just to gather a smaller, relevant pool of options for that specific person. It doesn't actually pick the final ad you see on your feed. It's just grabbing the initial options. Right, so after Andromeda does that initial heavy lifting, two other AI models step up to the plate, Gem and Lattice. Gem is basically the super brain that reads your customers' minds, honestly, sometimes a little too well, to figure out exactly what they want before they even know it themselves. And then Lattice is the massive library system that processes all of that incredible data to make the absolute final ad selection. If that sounds a bit technical, just think of it like having a personal shopper. Say you want a white t-shirt. Andromeda runs out to the mall and grabs a whole rack of potential clothes. Gem acts as your expert stylist, who knows, based on your past behavior, that you absolutely prefer cotton over linen. And finally, Lattice is the one who picks the exact, perfect shirt off that rack and hands it to you. Bam! That's the new meta algorithm in a nutshell. Moving right along to part 2, creative is the targeting. Okay, remember the old days? The old way relied heavily on manual, hyper-segmented guessing. You basically had to cross your fingers and guess exactly which demographic checkboxes your buyer fit into. But the new way? It is all about broad audiences. Your diverse creatives actually do the targeting for you now. Because Lattice and Gem are so incredibly smart, you just have to feed them a wide variety of ad angles. We're talking reviews, unboxings, educational videos, the whole shebang. And the AI will perfectly match that ad to the exact right buyer segment. Which naturally brings us to part 3, generating high-converting ads. Since the machine is constantly hungry and relies on your creatives as fuel to go out and find those customers, you have to source those creatives efficiently. You simply cannot manually film and edit dozens of ads a week and expect to survive. You've got to use tools for scale. You should be constantly researching trends on the TikTok Creative Center and the Facebook Ad Library. For rapid video testing, platforms like AutoDS are amazing for finding previously viral videos you can repurpose. You definitely need to be using ChatGPT for instant, high-converting ad copy. And for visuals, tools like Artlist and Nano Banana let you generate hyper-realistic AI-driven product images without ever needing to book a physical photo shoot. Okay, let's get into the weeds. Part 4, campaign setup and budgets. Depending on your monthly ad spend, your roadmap is going to look something like this. If you're spending under $30,000 a month, you still actually need to run some interest and creative testing campaigns. You kind of have to hold the algorithm's hand for a bit and train it. Now, if you're spending over $30,000, you transition over to campaign budget optimization, or CBO, with broad targeting to scale up by product line. And for the massive accounts, the ones dropping hundreds of thousands, you basically just hand the keys entirely over to Advantage plus flexible ads. You let Meta's machine learning take total control for ultimate dynamic matching. For those of you who are just starting your testing phase, here is your precise day zero launch strategy. Step 1, create a single sales campaign with CBO set at $50 a day. Step 2, and please listen, this is absolutely critical, schedule the launch for exactly 12 a.m. midnight. If you launch at, say, 8 p.m., the algorithm acts like a toddler with a stolen credit card and just tries to dump your entire daily budget in 3 hours. Midnight gives it a full 24 hours to actually learn. Step 3, use broad ad sets targeting the top English-speaking countries and just let your creatives do the heavy lifting. And finally, part 5, the 3-day scaling rule. This is where you have to stick to a strict, required patience window. Seriously. Day 1, your campaign launches at midnight. Day 2, the algorithm is out there spending, learning, trying its best to find your buyers. Do not touch it. Hands off. Day 3 is when you finally get to step in. You calculate your break-even return on ad spend, your ROAS, and you evaluate the data. Touching the campaign before day 3 will literally ruin the machine's learning phase and just flush your money down the drain. When day 3 arrives, you follow these hard, completely emotionless rules of scale so you aren't just gambling. Rule 1. If you are solidly profitable, bump your budget up by 30%. Rule 2. If you're just breaking even, you don't scale, but you don't quit either. You tweak your offer, double-check your pricing, and add 3 brand new creatives to the campaign. Rule 3. If you're a negative $100 in the red, kill the product immediately. Just cut your losses and start over. The potential waiting for you on the other side of this playbook is honestly staggering. To put it in perspective, $250,000. That is the massive daily spend figure being achieved by top supplement brands right now. $250,000 a day. They are doing this by feeding Meta's Lattice the exact right flexible creative formats at massive, massive volume. The ceiling is literally higher than ever if you just do this correctly. So the 2026 Meta algorithm, powered by Andromeda, Gem, and Lattice, is way more powerful than it has ever been. It is completely ready to scale your business to the moon. The only real question left is, are you willing to finally abandon the old way, master your creative strategy, and play the new game?